1 week ago I could not expect to say this, but all recent events made me reconsider my decision to stay in Russia. I also received hundreds of messages saying that I should leave Russia while I can, and here I am saying that I have to leave Russia. And I don't like all the clickbaity things, so here is a list of key major things that I'm going to talk in details in today's video. I made a decision to leave Russia on September 22nd. My flight from Petersburg to Moscow to Istanbul cost me about $1,500 American dollars, and I spent about 2 hours catching that ticket. And I left on September 25th. There was no real interrogation on the border, and during passport control I only was asked one question related to mobilization. This experience of running from Russia was quite bizarre, so let me share all the whats, hows and whys. Is it even grammatically correct to say this in English? Hi, my name is Niki. I live in Istanbul city for the next couple of months. Yeah, that's Istanbul behind me. I started this channel with lots of travel videos and then shifted to cultural and entertaining videos about daily life in Russia. And recently most of my content is like updates on what's going on there in Russia nowadays. Still, I want you guys expect a variety of content from me. I'll keep filming updates on Russia as long as you are willing to see that, and I will keep making videos about my personal life and travels as well. I hope you will enjoy it. And if you do, please subscribe to my channel with notification bell. And now let's talk the living from Russia experience. So the story begins with a why. Why I changed my decision to stay in Russia.
Am I going to leave the country? Am I going to go to, let's say, Georgia or anywhere else as soon as possible? And the answer is not. I'm not going to.
Into running from Russia ASAP. And the answer is kinda simple. I was too attached to two things: St. Petersburg and Lisa. I really did not want to leave her behind and live alone. So what changed since that is I took some time to reconsider. Am I really going to put myself in danger staying in Russia for longer or not? And the answer was surely yes. But this yes, I'm putting myself in danger might be a bit different from what you guys might think. I saw a lot of people writing that I might get drafted really quick staying in Russia, that I will receive call to army letter or anything like that. And the thing is, I did not worry about receiving the army letter because basically in Russia there are two ways how people receive it. The first one is army can send you a letter to the place of your official registration, and second, army can send a letter to your official place of work. And you guess what? I didn't have any of this, so I did not live under my official registration address, and also I did not have any official job placement at a company. I mean, I'm just working individually. So seeing myself in this condition made me think that I am kinda safe for now, and I'm not going to get drafted, not this week, not next week, not even next month or in 2 months. And the thing that really changed my opinion was another realization. A realization that maybe right now I can get away with this drafting and mobilization stuff, but in some time, in the coming month, I might get really big trouble with leaving Russia. Maybe it will be not possible for me to leave Russia, let's say, in December or maybe in the next year. That's actually the biggest reason why I decided to leave, and I thought it's better to leave before the referendums will be over and people will start getting refused to leave the country, which is happening like at this moment. So I feel being really lucky to leave on time. And here I can say that all people who commented like things, Niki, leave Russia ASAP, and people who send me like really long emails, all of you guys made me think that maybe I am a little bit too naive thinking and saying that I'm staying in Russia and I have to reconsider. And also because of you, I was able to purchase really expensive tickets, like literally 48 hours after I made the decision and leave on time. Like really, I'm thankful to millions of silent watchers and thousands of people who comment under my videos writing that thing about Niki, why you're still staying in Russia. And really grateful for people who supported me on YouTube and Patreon communities. Because of them, I was able to leave on time and get the ticket without thinking that maybe I wait for 1 more week because ticket is like 50% cheaper after 1 week since that time. Yeah guys, for that really appreciate. Gonna catch taxi for another place. It's a hot day, I'm a little bit starving, I don't wanna drink something cold. Catching a taxi in Istanbul is like a nightmare for me compared to what we had in Russia. Every single time, so complicated. There are taxis like that, you see the yellow car, and I can wave to that car and like ask to stop, but what I like to do is using apps for that, and there are some apps for calling taxi in Istanbul. They don't work well. I had to wait for like 10-15 minutes sometimes, which is a very long time for somebody who gets used to ordering taxi in Russia. But anyways, mine is coming soon. Oh, that is the one. You see? Merhaba. Yeah. I didn't order this music, it's so fun. Man, there is no rules at crossing the streets, just try to survive and not get under the car. We are going to Starbucks. In Turkey, like every single coffee store has a lot of cats and sometimes real huge dogs. But anyways, as for the process of buying tickets and then flying from St. Petersburg, that is also a bizarre experience. In the evening when I decided to leave, I was thinking like, okay, now I gotta spend a lot of money for getting that ticket out of Russia. And I expected it to cost like quite a lot of money, but what I did not expect... Oh, look at here, we have a visitor. But what I didn't expect, it actually was not that easy to buy a ticket. I was checking various websites trying to find a ticket out of St. Petersburg, and I spent the entire 2 hours updating the websites and finally picking various tickets, trying to fill in my info. And by the time when I was writing all the details, like my name, my date of birth and so on, the ticket was already purchased and I had to find another ticket. So it took me a few hours to figure things out and understand why it's happening like that. So every single time when you buy a flight, you have about 30 to 50 minutes booking time when a ticket company basically reserves a ticket for you, so you have enough time to fill in the bank card details and pay for your flight. And people were using this as a backup option, I believe. They picked one flight that maybe was not really convenient for them, they reserved it for like 30-50 minutes, and they were using this time to find another ticket that might be having a better time or maybe a better price, such kind of system exploiting. I also use that on Aeroflot website, Russian Airlines. I booked a ticket for about $2,000 just in case if there are no other left, and during these 50 minutes I found a few more flights, more affordable, like a little bit more affordable, and also with much better timing. So after all, I purchased a ticket from Aeroflot from St. Petersburg to Moscow and then to Istanbul, and after that I had my last 48 hours in St. Petersburg, basically to finish this stage of my life. And guys, that wasn't easy because I had very limited time to say goodbye to St. Petersburg, and that felt really weirdly to me. Yeah? Thank you. First and only freelance casting agency in Turkey. And I have no idea what is that, but that guy just gave it to me. So I had about 48 hours to pack all my things, to finish all my business in St. Petersburg, to spend my time with girlfriend and then leave my country. And we didn't do anything special during this time, we were just peacefully spending time together. And after these 2 days I simply went to Pulkovo airport in St. Petersburg, had a flight to Moscow, passed the border and arrived to Istanbul city. Let's actually go to another location. I'm gonna share how the flight was going and did we have any incidents during passing the border control. How to say thank you in Turkish?
Teşekkür.
Teşekkür.
Okay.
Teşekkür. Teşekkürler.
Afiyet olsun. Afiyet olsun yani. Afiyet olsun.
Lovely, man. And this kind of pastry is called simit. Basically that's bread full of sesame seeds. Incredibly delicious snack. 5 Turkish lira. You know, when I was thinking about what kind of experience that's gonna be living in Russia during this time, I thought maybe that it's gonna be like a sausage party, I don't know, 10% women in the plane and the rest of people are men, I don't know, under 35, under 45 years old fleeing Russia. And partially these pictures that I had in my head became true. I saw a lot of relatively young men in the airport, also in the plane that I was taking, but also there were quite a lot of women, so perhaps there is difference from normal times, but if I didn't know what is happening right now at this moment, if I just blindly go to the airport, not reading news, perhaps I wouldn't realize that anything goes not as usual. I was leaving Russia relatively early, that was the morning of September 25th, and that time across the entire country we didn't have any messages on people being rejected to leave the country. It was pretty peaceful at crossing the border, and still I was really curious what kind of questions they will be asking me. Will be there any interrogation, maybe something like Natasha had living to Tbilisi. And once I was coming to the borderline, to the customs officer, I was like, alright, I'm gonna like talk peacefully, I'm not going to be nervous, anything like that. But the only question that I was asked was, when did you buy the ticket? And this is quite a weird question. I did not understand why they asked this to me. I do not understand it until this very moment. Maybe you have some theories, go comment about that. I answered normally that I purchased it just 2 days ago, and the customs officer was just satisfied to have this answer from me. He looked at me, smiled and say, enjoy your flight or something like that. I took my passport and then just walked away. I realize now that perhaps I'm being lucky with like having no problem at the customs the day I left, because the next day, 2 days ago, like literally every single day after I arrived to Istanbul, I saw messages, stories of people who were crossing borders by various ways and flying from St. Petersburg and flying from Moscow, traveling by land to Georgia and Kazakhstan, to Belarus, to Finland, and some of these people were refused to leave the country. So yeah, on the day when I was leaving, there was nothing extraordinary happening, like the plane was entirely occupied, like literally there was no single available seat in the plane, and we safely arrived to the city of Istanbul. And here you may ask, like, why Niki, why Istanbul, why you didn't choose countries like, I don't know, Georgia, maybe something else? Like, so many Russian YouTubers fly to Georgia, hello Natasha, hello Roman, hello Zach, hello maybe somebody else. But personally, I actually prefer Istanbul rather than living in Tbilisi or any other city in Georgia. I visited Georgia in this summer just a few months ago, and I really enjoyed it. Although I enjoyed it as a destination to travel for a short time, and I wouldn't like to live in Tbilisi for like month and month. What other countries could I go? I also could go to ex-Soviet Union countries like, I don't know, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan. I don't want to go there to stay for a long time, although I would really like to travel there someday. I couldn't go to the European Union, I simply do not have any visa for them, so it's like not an option. What else? I know that many people went to United Arab Emirates, also a lot of people went to India, Goa and Southeastern Asian countries, and that's where eventually I'll be heading after Istanbul, but I decided that Istanbul... Oh mate, look at this lovely dog. This park is occupied by dogs, by people, by people, by people. So yeah, I thought Istanbul is my best choice for staying right after Russia, maybe for 1, 2, 3 months. And what comes next? I'm gonna go to Southeast Asia, most likely, and travel more countries around the world. I think during the next year, maybe a couple of years, I will be not able to come back to Russia safely, so most likely I'll just travel around the world and make videos on this channel, updating information on Russia and also doing some travel and cultural videos about countries that I'm visiting. So I guess new stage of my life begins here. Stay tuned for more videos.